Hey guys, Mig here with Greenman Gaming. So we wanted to do an episode .5, which is a prequel that gets you caught up on all the lore that you can obtain and understand before you actually go out on your first mission. We thought this was important because we kind of rushed because we had just finished the game and we wanted to get our friend up to speed, and we kind of sensed that something was missing there. So hopefully this catches you up and you learn a little bit from it. Enjoy!
What can we do when our last hope fails? That you must discover. Our last hope sailed this sea before you, in search of an end to the beasts that have hunted us for generations. An end was found, or so we thought. When the dragon rose into the sky like a phoenix, blazing in flames of agony. But our hero never came home. Only the storm, the beasts, the unshakable dread that something had twisted and turned. Your journey will not be easy. Storm swirls round the dragon's tower like a shroud. The dragon may be dead, but in its ashes, I fear something else has awoken. You will fight for every step. You must reach the tower, learn what became of our warrior, face what lurks within. When our last hope fails, another shall take its place. So long as we have breath.
Isn't looking good. Hang on!
You're awake. Hi there. Whoa, take it slow. You got hurt real bad. You don't want to start bleeding again, do you? I'm Wallace. I wanted to see you. I asked the commander if I could. Oh, Commander Ford and Mr. Wriggler found you outside. They brought you here. But they said Mark wasn't coming back. But never mind. The commander said you should come see her when you woke up. She's in the room down the hall. She'll find a place for you. Everyone's got a place.
Lieutenant Evelyn Sater, one of only 7 survivors to make it off the atoll. We had to abandon Ward 16 and retreat to Central here in Ward 13. Everyone else? They're all dead. Harsgard, Neville, Green, Parker, Mackenzie. Every last one of them's gone. We're the only ones left. The Root invaded Ward 13 too. There are bodies everywhere, Root and human both. Thankfully, the Root left for some reason. The place is abandoned. The Dreamers are gone. That's what the Root came for. I don't know how I know that, but I'm certain of it. The Root and the Dreamers are connected somehow. I can feel it. When the Dreamers were killed, the Root no longer had a reason to stay. Captain Ford, Commander now, I guess, says we're holding up here until we figure out our next move. He's fixed the crystal so nothing can follow us from the atoll, and there are only a few physical entrances. It should be defensible for as long as we need it. God, this is a hell of a Hanukkah. April 15th, 1969. It's been months now. The ward almost feels normal. We cleaned the bodies out, though there are some doors we still can't get into. Commander Ford has us looking for survivors, getting them into the ward. He's a brave man. Smart. Not like the bastards who got us into this mess. Thanks to Ford, we survived the first wave of the Rune invasion, which is more that can be said for the rest of the world. The Root didn't just come from out of the wards. They attacked all over, all at once. No one was ready. Armies were overwhelmed. France even tried nukes. Nukes on their own land. Then they went quiet. We've lost all communication with anyone. The city's a war zone. We're surviving, but barely. How long can we do this? May 3rd. I've been having dreams lately. I hear the Root, smell them, watch them from inside their own heads as they hunt down and slaughter the survivors. When I wake up, I can still feel their joy, their rage. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember who I am, where I am. It's freaking me out. We've lost so many people today. May 24th. Took control of a water tower though. It will keep us alive, but I keep wondering if it's worth it. So many died so that we can, what, scrape by until they kill us too? Commander Ford spoke for the dead, assured us their sacrifices would not be forgotten. So long as we have breath, he said, we have hope. I wish I could believe that. June 2nd. Ran across some old letters and journals from the folks who lived here before. They were so full of hope and excitement. Andrew, Commander Ford, caught me reading, but I guess he's been reading them too. He said their hope worried him. It was misguided, he said. Just like we were in Ward 16. Just like I am now. I couldn't help but snort. What the hell did he have to be hopeful for? He laughed when I told him. He actually thinks we'll survive. That we'll come back from this somehow. I thought we were... he was naive, but... his hope is what's kept us going, isn't it? It's kept us alive so far. I must have said as much, because he smiled and said we were the only alive because of people like me. People who got details he missed and challenged his optimism. He said my cynicism made his optimism more real. I'm laughing again, just thinking about it. Of all the things to be worried about, he's worried about having hope? And he thinks I'm keeping us alive? God, what a man. August 12th. Had another Root dream last night. This one was different. Real. They were waiting for us in my dream. Near the hotel courtyard where we'd been growing food. I told Ford about it. I thought he'd dismiss it, God knows. My CEO did that often enough, but he said it was worth checking out. Good thing too, because they were there, waiting. We fought them off because of my dream. Afterwards, I admitted my other dreams to Ford. Said it had been going on for a while. He wanted to tell the others. He wanted me to tell the others, so I told the rest of the 7. We'll see what happens, but I think he was the right call. He's a good man, Andrew. I always knew it, but I, he's a good man. August 15th. Okay. But what would it even look like if I hit on the leader of the ward? He doesn't need that right now. We're just trying to survive. Who the hell thinks of dating in a post-apocalyptic hellscape? August 16th. Screw it. I'm asking him out. August 17th. Well, hell. Turns out my feelings were mutual. Andrew didn't say anything because he was worried about what a relationship might do to the leadership within the ward. Would it look like favoritism? Would it affect how the others saw me? What about when we argued? He started asking 1,000 questions. Until I shut him up. And I realized, as I was shutting him up, that this was the point. No matter how risky it might be, love is exactly what makes surviving worth the trouble. Besides, we have a goddamn common foe out there. It's not like we'll all ever disagree on that. January 1st, 1971. I'm gonna point out that that's 2 years later. Holy hell, I forgot about this whole thing. Guess you could say I've been distracted. Andrew and I got married last month, and today I'm pregnant. I haven't told Andrew yet. I want to keep it to myself a little longer. It's hard to believe there's a life inside of me, a new person who didn't exist before. It was Andrew's idea. I thought he was crazy for even bringing it up. Who would raise a child in this creep show of an Earth? Him and his damn optimism. But he's right. Children are the only future we have. I don't know what will happen to this little one. Or hell, to us. But bringing a child into this world, the root are trying to rip away from us, makes us feel like, it feels like rebellion. It feels like a hope. God damn if that's not exactly what we need right now. And so, that's that.
Well, well, look who's awake. You put up quite a fight outside our gates. I'm Commander Ford. This is my base, and you, friend, are an unexpected guest. It's my job to know the kind of people I bring into Ward 13. We haven't seen a living soul on that shore for weeks. You will tell me why you were really out there, or we'll let the root have you. No one has been in that tower in a very long time, but you've got no chance of getting there in this storm. Truth is, the ward has been cut off. We had to block the gates after we dragged you in. The root are everywhere. But now that you're here, I have an idea. I'll tell you what. You want to leave? You'll have to do something for us first. First, we need power. That storm knocked out our reactor recently. With enough power, we might be able to activate another way out of here. It's not a door, exactly. And it may not even work. The reactor is on the lower basement level. There's a stairwell that leads down to it. Get it running, then come back here. Nothing around here is easy. Watch your back.
We already lost a man down there a few days ago. I suspect the Root have found a way in. Go check in with Riggs about your blade. I don't imagine your fists will do much against the Root. You do this for us, and I'll make sure you get out of here.
Hey, it's good to see you on your feet again. I did what I could to patch you up. You seem like a tough one, though. Name's Wriggler. Most everyone calls me Riggs. Well, your, sword was pretty banged up in the fight. Not much I could do with it, I'm afraid. The blade was shattered when we found you. Mostly scrap metal at this point. Think I remember Ace mentioned she found a few weapons out in the city. Maybe she'll help you out.
Ford keeps us in the dark, figuratively and literally. Yeah, Ford keeps the lower levels of this place locked down. You go down there and you'll be shot on sight. Yeah, she's hiding something down there.
Hey, friend. The actor's just through that door and down the stairs. Keep your wits about you.
Damn it, Les. Where are you? I swear, if you try scaring me, I'll... Ugh. What? Where the hell did you come from? You nearly scared the life out of me. No one else wandering around down here. You're not from around here, are you? Name's Ace. Ace Cotterill? You? Is that right? Well, you found it. Starting that relic could mean trouble, though. So, you ever start a reactor? So you figured you'd just come down here and wing it? Lucky for you, just the press of a button on the terminal above us. Would have done it myself, but without knowing what might come sniffing around. With the two of us, though, maybe we got a chance. Okay, so I have an idea. You go upstairs and start the reactor. I'll help you kill whatever comes our way. You probably need a weapon, huh? Let's see if I can find you something.
So as you can see, the issues were becoming worse and worse each time, which is why this is probably off now. Multiple systems are irreparably damaged, cause unknown, requisite operational functions offline, powering down central core, emergency power systems activated. All the tremors were probably the roots, the tree beasts that are attacking us, literally rooting through the facilities and the other places that these people were living at. So everything's failed. Unsure if it'll even work. But let's find out.
There. That should do it. You fought good. Real good. Ford made the right choice sending you down here. You best go check in with Ford.
Glad to see you got the reactor running. And I see Reggie gave you the dragon heart. He wouldn't part with an artifact that powerful without a good reason. I suppose his notes would be useful to you. Very well. Reggie may play the old fool, but his judgment is rarely off the mark. You've proven yourself reliable, stranger. I'm willing to help you get on your way, but I doubt you'll last long out there without help. Go see Riggs and McCabe downstairs. They'll fit you with better gear. Come see me afterwards.
Hey now, that's better. Oh, and take this. It's not the strongest stuff, but more protection than what you've got. Ah, there you go. A bit sturdier. Every little bit counts out there. We'd all be long gone if Ford didn't run a tight ship. She keeps this place going, and helps folks like you. If you need any weapon upgrades in the future, come see me. I bet Ford will see you fit to leave now. Here's hoping there's not an army of Deadwood waiting for you out there.
Good to see you more equipped. Riggs and McCabe do good work. I hope this will be enough to get you on your way. We can't leave by the gates now, but the founder, my grandfather, gave me this key years ago. He said we should only use it when there's no other choice. Well, we are out of choices. Considering you stuck your neck out for us, it seems fitting you do the honors. Take it. There's a terminal downstairs in the main room. Use the key there. Isn't it? I'd read about it, but I never saw it working. This red eye might be our only door to the outside world now. You want to get out of here? This is your shot. My grandfather was the commander before me. They called him the founder of Ward 13. He brought everyone to Ward 13 when the Root first attacked. He was determined to learn where the Root came from. He spent so much time out there, searching. And one day, he didn't come back. I never knew what happened to him. He knew the outside world better than anyone here. It's easier to think he's dead. There's a room just outside the ward. All his notes, any hint of where he went, it's there. If you want to reach the atoll, he may be the last one who knew how to get there. Listen, I know this has all been a bit rough for you. been rough for everyone. But you came through for us. For that, I'm grateful. You're welcome back anytime. Good luck.
I'm dying. No two ways about it. I always thought the root would get me or I'd live forever like you, but we all can't be heroes. You're the only person in the world that thinks he can stop the root. You know what? The rest of us are just trying to get to live our lives the best we can. Me and Ellen have had to do it without you. I ain't gonna tell you to stop. Not again. Just don't think you're sacrificing for us. We sacrificed enough. Always your daughter, Nadine. Ward 13 keycard, huh? Damn it, Ellen. It's not my fault your mother's gone. Even if I'd stuck around, Nadine would still be dead. And we know a hell of a lot less about the root. I'm doing this for her. For all of them. God. She's so much like her mother. Nadine was a grown woman when I started my search to end the root. She never understood how important it was. She clung to this childish idea that the ward needed a father. What they need is freedom. A better world than the one Harsgard and Neville and the rest of us left them with. Ellen doesn't know how good we had it before. She wasn't there. None of them were. I'm the only one left, thanks to this goddamn curse. Evelyn understood though. She wanted the root destroyed so much that... But Evelyn's gone now. She's gone. I tried to talk to Ellen again. I told her I'd stay this time, make things right. She said don't bother. Damn. What does she want from me? I'm trying to be here for her, to see things her way. She doesn't want me to chase after the root? Fine. But at least talk to me. There's no room in the ward for me. She says. So I've been sleeping here in my office. I bet Ellen hopes I'll head out on our expedition. God knows what I'm tempted to. But no. My daughter's gone. And my granddaughter needs me now. There will be time enough to find answers later. Ellen handed me a letter from her mother today. She almost didn't, but she said that would have made her worse than me. The letter, I didn't know, didn't think. The root had to be stopped. But that's what Evelyn said too, isn't it? When she left us, they have to be stopped. Nothing else matters. Except it did matter. I lost the woman I loved. And it didn't stop. And now I'm the monster. Damn it, Evelyn, you were wrong. You're wrong! I knew it then. I said so. But how am I any different now? I could still do it. Everything's here. I can find a way to stop the root. But what's the point? What's the point of fighting when the people you care about want nothing to do with you? What's the point of anything? What? Worthless. Should burn it. Walk into the dark, never return. Burned it all. What have I done? It's over. Half a century of notes and data gone. God, what have I done? It's been months since my last entry. I think I did the right thing. Destroying my work didn't make a difference to Ellen, but it was tempting me to go back, to hunt for a solution that doesn't exist. Now that it's gone, I'm free. I don't blame Ellen for not speaking to me. I'm a stranger to her, to the ward. I can serve them better by leaving. I can make a better legend than a leader. I'll give the key and heart to Ellen. I don't need them anymore. Someone else might. Someday. The ward's in their hands now. It always was, I guess. Question is, where do I go from here? I can't stay in this world. I've decided that much. I don't think it'd help Ellen if people could find me. Anyway, Earth is rancid with the root, but without the crystal. The root mother. They say she's still in that shell of an old church. She knows everything that the root does. Hell, she could probably even give me a lead on the root if I just... No. That chase is over, but she could help me reach another world. Someplace where I can figure out what's next. If anyone can give me an alternate route, it's her. It's time I spoke to her again anyway. I avoided her for too long. When Ford founded the ward, he buried secrets in its walls. Maybe he never meant them to see the light, but buried things have a funny habit of coming back. So what is this? Okay. Eureka! It's taken us months, but we finally reconnected a dreamer to Gabriel's world. Subject 2419-1 is online. The new bonded entity is vastly different from the previous one. Visual recordings are dim, but audio is greatly enhanced. So much so that our equipment can't not accurately record all of it. The new Guardian is belligerent towards the inhabitants, malicious even. I suspect it shares memories with the previous Guardian, consciously or not. It knows what the Fuzzies did, and treats them accordingly. Fascinating. What are Fuzzies? Physical expedition. Sounds like the high-ups are planning an honest-to-God physical expedition into one of the worlds. Commander Neville has requested all operations managers to submit our recommendations. Given the things we've seen since bringing Casa online, the Guardian, the root creatures, the massacres, I think it's obvious what our stance has to be. Casa's equipment's going bonkers. It keeps resetting itself to a specific set of parameters. Not just the dreaming harness, but the recording equipment, diagnostics, and even life support. The effect seems to be coming from Casa herself, but none of us understand how that's possible. Per procedure, we've tried to sedate or reboot Casa, but that has been proven impossible. The system ignores our commands for sedation. Reg tried physically administering the drugs, of course, but the system automatically applied a reversal agent. I'm concerned if we try to overpower the system, we will end up killing the Dreamer. On the other hand, that may be our only option if this feedback loop doesn't resolve itself. We'll continue our observations for now, but after what happened with Gabriel and Clementine, I'm worried. They're everywhere. The root creatures from Cass's world. We were unprepared. How could we be? They attacked so quickly. Reg is dead. So many are dead. We've lost contact with Ward 16 and 17. Maybe others. Those of us still alive have locked ourselves in Cass's room for now, but it won't be long before we're discovered. What the hell is happening? They're after the Dreamers. They've killed all but Casa already. It's just a matter of time. Except they aren't pounding on our door. They must know we're in here. If they're after the Dreamers, Why would they leave us alone unless... Oh god. Casa. She's the gate. That's what I have to do then. We won't have any other choice. If we leave this room, they'll slaughter us. And if I'm wrong, well, one more dead dreamer won't matter much. If we're all dead. It's done. The system fought us at every turn, and then the root creatures began pounding at the door, as though they knew what we were trying to do, but it's over. She's dead. And the roots are still out there. We're preparing to make one final run for it. I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll die if we stay in here. Harsgard Dreamer was in the feedback loop too. We have to tell them. If I was right about her being a gate, then... File corrupted. Dearest Reg, I know you're dying to learn what the government's been doing since I moved to Ward 13. There's so much to tell. I don't know where to start. The red crystals weren't anything we thought, Reg. They're not power sources at all. They're conduits through space itself. I know. I wouldn't have believed it either. Wait till you see what they're doing. They've connected test subjects, dreamers. They call them to some kind of guardian entities in other worlds. I don't mean other planets. I mean parallel worlds, side by side with Earth, but completely inaccessible apart from the crystals. Ford and Harsgard, you remember Captain Ford, dear. He was the recruitment officer who visited us at the university. Have a few dreamers on an atoll offshore, and the preliminary reports sound like a fairy tale. Fauns, goblins, even magic. Of course, it can't actually be magic, but it certainly feels like it based on our current understanding of physics. It's hard to explain without being able to show you, Reg, but they won't let that happen until your transfer goes through. I don't even know if they'll allow this letter out, to be honest. It's fine. I'll show you everything in person when you arrive. Our board already has 2 dreamers connected. I'm supervising activation of a 3rd in a few days. Gabriel, they call him. Though I get the feeling it's not his real name. I can't wait to see what he sees. To start investigating one of these worlds for myself. We're on the verge of something amazing, Reg. There's so much more to the universe than anyone thought. Even Einstein. What wonders might be out there, just lying in wait for our discovery. See you soon, Belinda. Okay, this is a report from Belinda about Subject 2419-1. Commander Neville has asked for recommendations on which world should be chosen for our first physical expedition. Subject 2419-1 is the second dreamer bonded to the so-called Fuzzies world, but the world has changed drastically since the loss of a previous dreamer, with a new guardian entity, new invading species, and widespread alterations to the world and inhabitants. It's fair to say that it is no longer the Fuzzies world, and is highly dangerous. It is my recommendation that we not send a physical expedition to this world at this time. Last year, Subject 2419, known as Gabriel, died in the Dreamer's chair when his guardian entity was killed by the inhabitants of his world, informally known as the Fuzzies. The Fuzzies were intelligent and warlike, yet they were caring toward each other. We still do not know why they turned on their guardian. In February of this year, we were finally successful in connecting a second dreamer when Subject 2419-1, herein referred to as Casa, bonded to what appears to be a new guardian in the same world. We have been feverishly gathering data ever since. Preliminary findings. Casa's world is almost completely unrecognizable from before. Gabriel's observed what appeared to be a massive living organism populated by small, fur-covered creatures called Fuzzies. Casa, however, sees a world covered in root, like growths, with a little of the original landscape visible underneath it. Fuzzies are rarely seen at all, at least not alive. The world is now populated by new violent species of the creature. It is unclear where this new species came from. We saw no evidence of them in Gabriel's recordings, but they have eliminated a large percentage of the former population in a very short time. The new species appears to be plant-based, bearing no resemblance to motile trees or roots. These creatures are violent and destructive, actively hunting the Fuzzies, slaughtering them, then leaving the bodies behind while they hunt more. We believe there might still be Fuzzies alive and in hiding, but given the ferocity of the root species, it is unlikely they will remain so very long. Conclusion, I believe the Fuzzies will not survive without some kind of intervention. However, I cannot recommend that a human scouting party visit Cass's world at this time. It is likely the root species will treat us the same as the Fuzzies, and given the speed and ferocity with which they fight, a lone scouting party will not stand a chance, even with modern weapons. For now, I believe it is the best that we continue our observations to learn what we can about the new species. Wow, that's a lot, but this is turning into some Stranger Things style stuff, where people are definitely being used and abused. That's not creepy at all. That's not creepy at all. Harsgard claims he's not wrong and suggests that we continue monitoring. We'll do so, if only as CYA. It looks like we're stuck here for a while. Subject 2409 is online, vitals are stable, but we're receiving no visual information, and audio consists of only a low, persistent rumble, interspersed by a seemingly random series of clicks. Attempts to find a pattern in the clicks have so far been fruitless. I'm convinced they're nothing more than a signal noise. Perhaps errors in the recording equipment, amplified by the dreamer's subconscious, or perhaps there's no signal at all. We've never tested what happens when a dreamer connects with nothing. Most likely, Dr. Harsgard read the runes wrong. Awaiting confirmation. Dr. Itsaso? I heard a change in audio last night for about 20 seconds, starting at 2:11. I heard some kind of singing. That's the only way I can think to describe it. This was on top of the regular rumble and clicks. I left the tape in your office for you to review. So that's the one that we just heard. Also be advised that I may have seen an anomaly on video, as well as a brief, very faint pulse of light during the time of the audio anomaly. It may have just been an artifact on the screen, though, or even my imagination. It was very late after all. Hell, I owe Harsgard $10 for about 2 hours on April 6, 1966. Subject 2409's visuals lit up like the goddamn 4th of July. Dozens of lights pulsed on and off, and no pattern we have yet discerned. Colors varied, but remained mostly between blue and yellow wavelengths. After approximately 145 seconds, the pulsing began to decrease in frequency, and by T plus 160, they had ceased entirely. Audio was unchanged during this time. Finally, we have a proof that the dreamer is connected to something. Harsgard's never going to let this drop. And then 3 corrupted files. So multiple people connected to different worlds, and something came back in through the other side. This does not look good. Ward 13 command and access control panel. Gabriel. That scared me. The dreamer known as Gabriel, subject 2419, is online. Data coming faster than we can deal with it. Gabriel's bonded entity guards a literal living world, some kind of massive biological organism that houses the guardian within it. The ground is flesh and responds to stimuli. The air is thick with moisture. The breeze shifts cyclically like breathing. The inhabitants of the world are equally fascinating, small, fur-covered bipedals that we've dubbed the Fuzzies for their resemblance to creatures from H. Beam Piper novels. They appear to be sentient. They have no spoken language, but they build tools and structures from the bone-like growths found throughout the world. These observations are preliminary, of course, but they're so exciting. A new species? First contact? What revelations might we uncover? Oh, there's more. Okay, errors. The Fuzzies have been acting stranger at first. They had a kind of god worshipper relationship with Gabriel's entity, but we've recently seen signs of fear and distrust, and even a few rocks thrown. Could Gabriel's bond with them somehow have caused this? We've been very careful to observe only, not to interfere, but maybe the Fuzzies detected some subtle change we cannot predict. Too subtle for us to notice, yet strong enough to cause a violent reaction? So that seems implausible. A minority of my team is concerned that this will affect our experiment. One team member is worried that Gabriel himself may be in danger. Well, he was. Gabriel's vitals have been affected by the random attacks. A more valid concern is that the very act of observing is affecting what we observe. This may be valid, but it's not enough reason to wake the dreamer, not yet. Gabriel was attacked today, or rather the Guardian was. We're combing our records for any sign of provocation on our part, but we have found nothing. Gabriel's been completely passive, allowing the Guardian to act independently. Most likely whatever's happening predates Gabriel's bond. There have been more calls from the team to wake Gabriel, still a minority, but it's true that his heart rate rose briefly during the attacks, but there have been no other signs the attack affected him in any way. I've ordered observations to continue. So they pretty much, we will see this through. Okay, well, we did, definitely. Subject has been declared dead on April 3rd, 1966. His guardian was killed and his body consequently suffered a cardiac arrest. We lost input immediately. So this is almost like the Matrix too. So these dreamers, they have guardians that spawn that they can see through, almost like a three-eyed raven style, but they can choose whether or not to control them. But if the guardian's killed, they die, like you would in the Matrix. This is creepy. And yet this presents exciting new information. This is the first time a dreamer has died in the chair. Tragic though Gabriel's death is, it proves the bond between dreamers and guardians is even stronger than we knew. Research in the Fuzzy world has been put on hold for now. Our previous observations and these log entries will be transferred to another room for study while Gabriel's chair is prepared for the next dreamer. I know we'll be back. There's so much yet to learn. What happens when a world's guardian dies anyway? They come for you next, that's what we found out. I suppose. This can't be good. Wow. The hell can even cause that? In this room, please keep the air conditioner on at all times. The dreamer's entity lives in a frozen world and in some places colder than any recorded measurement on Earth and seems to reflect aspects of that bond. In particular, she shows physical signs of discomfort at any temperature above 55 degrees. Those working in this area are encouraged to wear layers. Okay. The Guardian came across a clutch of orphaned polis. Apparently they had been lost in a blizzard, but the effect on Clementine was unexpected. Her non-adrenaline levels dropped, and her body showed signs of lacrimation. Most of the team believes the Guardian, the Dreamer, or both were saddened at the discovery, but we have no record of the Guardians ever having or eliciting emotions. If only we could record emotional states somehow. It's unfortunate that we can't speak to the Dreamers without waking them, and that we can't wake them without risking loss of the bond. FYI, per Commander Neville's orders, we have sedated Clementine until her non-adrenaline levels return back to normal. I guess this is now standard operating procedure whenever a dreamer exhibits potentially unstable behavior. I suspect the source of this edict is Captain Ford. After what happened with Gabriel, and with Harsgard about to connect a new dreamer to this claw-born entity, I'm guessing Ford doesn't want any more unnecessary risk? He's probably right. Could someone please tell the janitor to leave the AC alone? That's the third time we've had to reboot Clementine this month. Okay. Clementine disintegrated at all? Rather, I think she shifted somehow. that she still exists somewhere along with everything else, including the port janitor, unfortunately. As to why, I only have conjecture. Reviewing Clementine's final tapes to show... And in this very last frame, in one darkened corner, you can see... Something agreed this can be Clawborn? Harsgard always described his unknown entity in fantastic terms, but what if he wasn't exaggerating? We know he brought his dreamer online at approximately the same time Clementine disappeared. After all, as I said, conjecture, but blah 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 blah. So she caused that, and she essentially dematerialized. Okay. Is that it? Yeah. So these people had some terrible endings. Even like half a stool got taken. That's crazy. I mean, now that the door's open, right? Hey. Ward 13 Master Key. Okay, so in summary, you have the grandfather Ford, who has been fighting this root situation and doesn't have a good relationship with his granddaughter, who's now running the ward. There's a whole lot of craziness going down underneath here, so it's almost like a Fallout situation mixed with... It's like Fallout if Fallout was performing like Stranger Things experiments during the actual Fallout. So it's a little bit of that. Then it looks like they opened multiple gateways. And so because there's multiple gateways open, like they can't even like think about really moving around right now because of the condition they're in. So that's what your character is gonna do, is gonna be like accessing these stargates essentially.
Hello there, friend. Hello again, friend. All right. Oh, hey, not much to tell about old Reggie. My story is like so many out there. Loss, hunger, fear, and by Providence, I found my way here. The last bastion of kindness and light. Searching my life. Before this place is like reaching through an endless fog. I do remember a ring I wore once. greatest treasure. The last remnant of an old tale. But it's lost now. Like so many memories. Oh, I don't like to gossip, but you twist my arm. The cave's rough around the edges. But I reckon she don't mind the company here. Riggs, he'd give you the shirt off his back if you asked. Bo, don't have much experience, but he's keen to do right by the ward. Ace is friendly enough. Oh, she keeps her cards close to her chest. Wallace, poor boy. He's just settling in. Damn shame, losing his brother. We'll do our best by him. But that's a thread not easily tied. Ellen? Damn fine leader. Granddaughter of the founder Ford. She's seen us through some hard times. She might not admit it, but she's done some fine work with the hand she was dealt. 413. What can't I tell you? Well, a lot, actually. Place is as old as teeth. The ward's been here since the world fell. Took on by Commander Andrew Ford. May he dream in peace. Story goes the other wards were overrun. But not this one. Oh, no, not this one. Anything else you need? Keep your head up.
Alright, and goal accomplished. I know this seems like a long video, but keep in mind this is literally every piece of lore you can get before you actually go out into the field and start shooting bad guys. So I just wanted to make sure that that was at a minimum and that the lore was at a maximum, and hopefully this helped out. If you did like it, give us a thumbs up and comment at the bottom, and see you for official episode 5 soon. Don't forget to stay caffeinated, y'all.